Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Wishes Weekly Webisodes. I'm Lene Gehrig, and today I'm really excited to bring you this romantic Christmas collections from our friends at Stamperia. We have got the Romantic Christmas 12 by 12, the 8 by 8 cardstock, printed cardstock, and we've got this wonderful rice paper. This is the Birds rice paper, the Let It Snow, and then these are the Rounds rice paper. And I had some fun making some projects I can't wait to show you, so come play with us. So let's take a look at the 12 by 12 pattern cardstock. You've got these beautiful tags, metallic, and then the wood, and you've got this beautiful vintage art mixed with this beautiful metallic gold and then blue snowflake pattern. You've got some beautiful nature. Look at this gorgeous vintage clock. You've got this wood patterned paper with all of these greens. Fantastic, beautiful ornaments. Look at this great Santa. These are really happy looking Santa too. We've got a lot of letters to Santa. Wonderful cutouts. This one is a card that you would cut out and fold in half. Beautiful. Here's another card. This is fantastic. This is a advent calendar, which if you don't like this color, there's a whole nother color scheme on the back. And then of course these are the little cutouts to go inside the windows. I'm going to show you what I did with that. Here are some great street scenes, and then they're known for their wonderful cutouts as well. And then the 8 by 8 is the same thing, just in the smaller size. There you go. All right, so let's start off with a scrapbook page. Maybe we can zoom in a little bit, Steve. So here's a 12 by 12 page, and I thought that that street scene was just sort of a perfect one for like Christmas in the city. So we've got a family, and then I also took the letters, sort of the border off for one of the pages, and I cut that out, inked all of my edges with roasted coffee, and just did some cutouts here. I have a collection of ginger and tomato flowers from 49 in Market. Used some tags. Also cut the Santa Claus out. Let me see where I can see, because sometimes it's kind of hard to know where you cut things out from. So here's the street scene. Okay, Santa, cut the Santa out here, and then the letter border, I just kind of cut around here like that. And then of course the tags from the front right there. So yeah, and then just personalized with a little bit of a date there as well. So here is my advent calendar. Now, this just really was nostalgic for me, because I remember back in the day, my grandmother sent us an advent calendar, paper advent calendar, new every Christmas. Now, remember the days when you could open, the advent calendars were just paper, and when you opened it up and you had to take turns with your sibling to open the windows every day, you didn't get a piece of chocolate or a toy, you got a cute little picture, okay? And you loved that cute little picture. And of course, on the 24th, it was always a great picture that you were really looking forward to with Santa or the Nativity. It was great. So I love how nostalgic this is. That your kids, your family members can still get really excited about something that is just taking turns and enjoying that excitement of opening this little secret window. For this, I just used some cardstock as my back. I cut out the calendar. I thought it was best just to use an X-Acto knife to cut them out. It was just a top and a bottom and down through the center. It was really easy. I didn't need to use a ruler or anything. It was so cute. Let's zoom in, Steve, so we can look at some of these windows. They're so cute. So here's for the 11th. You've got a Christmas tree. Go this way. The 12th, little house. 13th, a little sleigh. And then when you get down, right down to the days, you start working your way up. And of course, Christmas being at the bottom. So I cut out the whole thing, used my X-Acto knife. I just sat there in front of the TV with my lap desk and an X-Acto knife and a cutting mat, and I just did it. And it took me, I don't know, half an hour to cut these windows out. And then of course you have all the little pieces that then you just glued behind the windows. And then I matted the whole thing with just paper from Christmas Memories cardstock, and that just worked beautifully. And then I took a couple of magnets, just refrigerator magnets, the ones that you get from I don't know, when they come and service your air conditioning or whatever. I just took those and I cut them into 4 pieces and glued those on the back, and so now it can just stick on my fridge. So this is a little recycling tip for you there. So here is a card that I did. This one I used the 8x8 collection for. And this is a sidestep card from hot off the press. It comes pre-folded just like this. And I love this because it has all of these little areas for you to add all those little cutouts and those little special things. So here I use the cutout birds and a little birdhouse, and of course just use a little bit of foam tape. Here's some more of those little flowers from 49 Market. And then here you've got these great little thin line dazzle stickers, and this is the primary color set. And all of these supplies are linked below the video, so you don't have any problem finding each and every item. And of course for the background I just used that same Christmas Memories cardstock collection to put together. All right, and then here is a 6x6 card that I did. I went back to the 12x12 collection for this one. And first of all, I made a, here we go. I took this blank 6x6 card. I scored it right here on the front, folded it, because I wanted to make an easel card. As you can see here, just the front is folded. And then I created the top of it. I cut my cardstock to 6x6, took one of these great borders that's in here. Let me show you which one I used. This one right here, cut that out, and then made a pocket on the front of my card, just like that. Then I created just like a little flowerscape over here using the bigger leaves cutting dies from hot off the press. And I cut them twice. I think I used this one. Cut it once from just green cardstock from the same cardstock pack, and then cut it again using the lime green glitter cardstock, and then put those same flowers from 49 Market on there. And so I needed to leave one side of the pocket opened to fit my tag in. And then when these tags are interactive, so you take them out, and there's little messages that you can write on there. And then when you lift this up, more tags that you can lift out. And this one, I just did a little recipe and printed that out on my computer. So just fun little interactive things. And then when they're done looking at it, they can just prop that open like that. So I love to make cards that have little movable parts to them. All right, and then finally, we've got a collection of ornaments right here that I used the rice paper for. So I wanted to give you a better look at each of these. These are the rounds rice paper. And then this one is the Let It Snow. It's its name from right here. And then this one's the birds. Okay, so for this one, to make these ornaments, I used a collection of chipboard shapes from hot off the press. So I've got rounds, little circles. I have got little scallop circles. I've got chipboard hearts and squares. And I forgot to grab the other square. That's weird. All right, so what I did was with these, to kind of take advantage of different parts of this, I was able to easily get 3. I could have gotten a 4th ornament, but I wanted to feature all the little birds. Okay, so for example, let's see, where shall I start? How about we do a circle? Open up. All right, so for the circle, there we go. I just used a little combination of Cosmic Shimmer Specialist Acrylic Glue, a little bit of water, and then mix that together. And if I had to say, the ratio is probably 2 parts glue, 1 part water. And then I just took a brush and I just painted over the surface of that while that was still wet. Just found my little area that I wanted to, and then I just put that right there. and then smoothed that out, and then used a pair of little scissors, turned the whole thing over, and then just cut around that, okay? So I was really careful when I cut around it so that I kind of just went in here and cut around it, and I didn't chop up the rest of it too much because I wanted to make sure to be able to use it for other areas. When I got to this little guy, for my little bird here, let me show you what I did. There's a couple of ways to remove these. You can cut them. You can also just take some water, I'm just spraying out some water here, and a paintbrush, okay? And then you can just go around this little bird, okay? And you're just painting around like this. And you're making a little bit of a path. And you want to make sure it's good and wet because we're going to do a little bit of tearing. All right, so now you're just going to kind of start it with your finger just like this. And you see how, as I'm tearing it, it's getting sort of a feathered edge around there. And this is a way to do this if you're trying to cut something out from the center of your sheet and you want to preserve the border, so you want to use it for something else. So it's just an alternative. And it gives you this really cool feathered edge that when I put it on my ornament, it didn't really show up, but if I had just glued it on some background paper or something, then it would have showed up. Now some of these you get sort of fibers in here that just don't want to tear. You need to give a little extra water. Okay, so I think that is just a really pretty image to go with those sweet little birds. Okay, so on this one, I just went ahead and I just glued that right there. And then I should mention, first of all, went ahead and used sort of like a corner here. And I just glued this like right there, okay? Got that taken care of, glued that in the same way. And then right over the top of that, then I put my bird. And then once I glued that down, just took my little scissors and trimmed away the excess. For this one, when I used the scalloped chipboard, I actually covered it. Generally, I like to just use the surface of an ink pad and color them like this so that I don't have a lot of cutting out to do. But for this one, I wanted to cover it with a polka dot. I love polka dots. So this is Dotted Duos #1 paper pack. And it's got small dots and then really nice jolly dots on this other side. So I used the big jolly side, put them on there. Then I just took my little scissors and I just went around it and kind of did a sloppy job. I wasn't really careful about my cutting. And then I forgot to grab it, but then I took a sanding block or an emery board and then I just went over them, making sure to get in the edges, and it just took off all of those little jaggedy pieces and it went very quick. Then for my little greetings here, I've got the Merry Christmas and Seasons Greetings. These are from the Festive Collection from Creative Expressions. And they're these adorable little dies. They're just the perfect size. I used them for this and this. I also added to this one some little sparklets. And these were, I think, Winter Wishes sparklets. They have a little green tint on them. You can also find those down below in the products used. Little red ribbon here, little loops. And for this one, used the little joy stickers from the Script Greeting. This is the Christmas Greeting Collection, and it's got these script greetings as well as these little tiny words and phrases like this in all different finishes. And I used the red ones from there. So as you can say, really fun to put together, really fun to use with the rice paper. So you guys, we've got a wonderful money saver on this collection. So if you want to check that out, it's on the right-hand side. Just check that out. And if you're wanting to shop these things individually, just check below the video, down below, and you can see all the products that we've used. There's also a photo gallery there. If you're watching us on YouTube, we haven't forgot about you. Just check below the video in the description box and you'll see a link to paperwishes.com. Just hop on over there. It'll take you right to the Webisode page where you see everything I just mentioned. And if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. It helps people find us, and subscribe. We do 4 to 5 videos a week, and I wouldn't want you to miss anything. Thanks for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.